always fantastic to look back on this.
Obviously, it's we are nostalgic moment for you.
You know, it's something which is different because I never studied in this campus. I was in the old campus. So it's always it's also a little bit of a jealousy factor, which actually brings me back here.
That's good to know that. So, like it's like developing a lot in this world, and it's also like like development areas. And what I feel as a student, Udek is not only for the academics, but they also build the students in each and every aspect or era, like in the curriculum itself, to be the in this competitiveness world. So, sir, I feel that you are from 1998 batch, and it's like it's honor to meet you in this campus. And what I feel that what changes you think or you observe that from that time onwards till 2024, that what changes you observe in our education system from your time to this?
I'm not that old, okay, so 98 is not very far away. So 6 years. So,
Yes.
so there are a lot of things which have changed. So I think what we call is from a basic learning of the fundamentals, which actually stays same. So whether it is 10 years back, 20 years, or 40 years back, the fundamentals, learning the fundamentals remains same. But I think in the last, not even 10 years or 20 years, the last 2 or 3 years, the execution of those skills, or skills which actually make you do these things on the ground, has actually increased. The industry's ask has increased, and hence thereby students are forced, if they are not willingly forced to actually learn this. I'll give you an example. If yesterday years we were actually talking about marketing or marketing plan design, today you are talking about how the marketing analytics are being done, and hence who's your what you call the main client, the client segment you should target. So it's become much more focused on what is the area that you will focus on. So I can say it's become more an applied education rather than a normal education. It's actually so I would have learned marketing, economics, all other things. But today, if I actually ask and interview someone, I'm asking them the first question: do you understand AI? And tell me the use cases that will actually deploy in the area that you want to get. So it's much more applied, much more real and experiential. Then it is actually much more what do you call theoretical and subjective.
Thank you so much for that. So the second one is, sir, I feel that you have worked a lot in this corporate world, in different companies, in different positions, but nowadays you are focused on the government transformation. So what brings your interest in this area?
Okay, so government transformation, I can tell you that I moved to government business in 2003. So it's not new to me. So 2003 I conscious decision to move to government business in PwC. So it's been almost 20 odd years. While I started my career in 2000, so first 2 years, usually as a management consultant you have to do everything. But next 20 odd years I've did everything which is around the government. So government tech, government transformation, whether it is more on the advisory side or from a digital, non-digital, everything. Why government and why not? Yes, that is the question which was there in front of me in 2000. There are two reasons. Reason number one, when you actually need to go faster in your, that's what my choice was. I'm prescribing to it. You need to have a domain expertise. You need to actually have an automotive sector based engineering. So when you do a graduation post-graduation, it doesn't allow you to actually become specialized. Government was one space which didn't require me to gain a specialization. So it was more of a process. So I was able to learn. So I did my land cost management project, transportation, learning the manuals or the scripts of the government. So it was easy for me to move into a government sector. Okay, so that is a tactical part of my decision for making a career change. Now, when you do a career change, I need to stay in that career for a long time. What made me stay for the next 20 years is when you go back to your home and when you say that when your kid actually is there and he gets a one of your Aadhaar card or a passport it's to actually get a safe transit through a process, and then you say that something which I also contributed, it is a feeling of impact and pride. So when you actually start getting a feeling of impact and pride in your work, you stay in that domain, particularly in government, for a very long time. So I've done so many different types of projects in government, so which is a feeling of pride actually more than anything, which actually made me stay back in government for a very, very long time. It's been 20 years of this.
Small stories related to the project.
No, I can actually narrate hundreds of stories, but one of the interesting story I can narrate is I think it was in 2015. We were doing the Smart Cities challenge program, and we were one of the things was vision of a smart city first. The challenge had the first statement is define the vision first. For defining the vision first, you need to actually speak to various stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? It isn't you and me. One of the things which we did, we actually met the kids. It was 8th standard or 7th standard. So we met the kids to actually understand what does a smart city mean to them. So because they're the future of our city or the country. So one of the kids actually answered it saying that I want a city in which I can go and play without a problem of a mosquito biting me and a trouble of dengue or a trouble of malaria keeping me away from the grass. It's a small city as well. So which actually hit us very hard because see these are diseases which can be eradicated. So because of the mosquito eradication program is, and I'm actually trying to create a city smart without making the city healthy. So that's where post that we actually started putting healthy cities as the core element of the city's new infrastructure. So that's very beautiful. So we meet all these kids, all these people, older, young. So I think government takes you everywhere.
So it's really a good thought because health is what the most important essential in everyone's life.
That's
And so not only being smart, how can we negate such kinds of things?
right.
So sir, actually you all know that this era, like today's generations, all we as a students are facing a lot of weakness, anxiety, stress, and it's very difficult to handle because we want everything as a quick, shortcut results, not want to have such a kind of patience. So how can you advise to this current students to tackle with all these things?
The failures used to happen for everyone. So it is this decade of the only thing is the amount of time available to all of us to perform has actually shrunken over. The anxiety is because of the time we spend for a result. So, and I think there is only two simple things. I really love the way in which the couple of days back when we got the World Cup. So the thing which was actually the most important to explain is the happiness from Dravid. So he went on to the podium actually screaming all his things out. He never won a ICC Cup as a captain or as a team. Never. But as a coach he won. Did it actually stop him from not doing his work where he was passionate? He did. So failures make you a better person, and you need to fail. If there's someone who doesn't fail, will never grow up. So in fact, it's a very hidden secret on while a lot of my friends and I have actually not cleared even a single engineering exam. Okay, so I flunked in all engineering exams in terms of the entrance, not the engineering entrance. I did my physics graduate hours. So I wanted to be a engineering graduate, but if it would have actually sunk me and saying that okay, I failed in that, I would have never gone above it. It doesn't mean that the failure is the end of it. Failure is one. So that's where you need to understand what does a failure is, and failure is defined by a set of people who actually create those parameters. Okay, for example, failure in what? You have not cleared the exam. It's set by a board. That this is the marks above or below which you are failing or you pass. So it's not you who are actually set up yourself for failure. Somebody else said that, and you have actually gone and map yourself to that. Right? So that's part one. So you need to be very logical in this. And I don't expect the current kids to be logical. Okay? The second is to actually manage this as a larger group of people. We need to have a system where you actually talk to a larger set of friends, community, teachers, alumni, and industry employees to understand what does a failure for me today is a learning and moving forward. It cannot be handled by an individual. Family is included. So everyone needs to understand together, get into the definition of what is a failure and success. For you, a failure is a failure. For somebody else, that failure is better than his or her failure. I got a 1000 ranker and second, I did not qualify. The second person has got 200 rank but did not qualify. For me, it's both of us have failed, but someone has actually just failed and someone has failed miserably. Okay? So both of them need to choose their next year very wisely. So one will need to prep, second needs to change the course. Okay? So it's actually how do we define, how do we counsel them, how do we protect the people who fail, and I think it's much more of a social aspect than a mental aspect. So mentally you can be strong as long as your social infrastructure is supported.
Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Thank you so much.
It really encouraged